What is going on, everyone? It is Tyler McKinney back here again, and today we're going to get back into the XFL. Yes, that's right. If it's your first time here, hey, glad to have you. If you're a return viewer, thanks for coming back, and thanks for watching more videos. And if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. Now, let's go ahead and let's talk about the XFL, because I feel like the XFL, it's just, even though the XFL is done, they filed bankruptcy, it just seems like this story just continues to go on and on and on. I feel like we're part of an episode of Days of Our Lives, or as the XFL world turns. I don't know, but I just feel like I'm part of a soap opera right now, and that this has just been crazy. But we got a few things that we need to talk about. First and foremost is that Topps officially released on April 15th their cards, and officially on the 17th, they were sold out. Their XFL cards sold like hotcakes. Yeah, that's right. And listen, of course they would, because people love the XFL, and the XFL had a great following. Now, I don't know how many, we don't know how many, sets of cards that they had, boxes, whatever, and, what people were doing with that. By this time, we had already known that they had pretty much laid everybody off. And so, from there, it was kind of one of those things to where maybe people are thinking that it's going to be a hot commodity later on, buying them, for value for years later. I don't know, but again, it just shows that the XFL truly did have a devout fan base, and that people really did enjoy the XFL. And so I mean, that's kind of one of those, just another one of those things that just makes this situation just so bizarre and weird. I mean, this whole year has just been bizarre and weird all the way around. And so we go from that, then we move to, again, all this information just keeps coming out and coming out and coming out and coming out. And really, which it's stuff that we kind of knew about a little bit, and we finally got some information out that we found out that the XFL was seriously looking into moving teams. And really, in specifics, we really got some specifics of two teams. They were really looking at moving the Tampa Bay Vipers and moving them to Orlando, which Orlando is a great venue. They've got a great stadium there, and people in Florida, especially around the Orlando area, love their football. They love their Apollos. Their Apollos were a great team there in the AAF, and I think that the Vipers would have thrived there in Orlando. It looks like that they were looking to move the team there in Orlando. We also found out that the league was possibly looking to move other teams. It was also put out there that the New York team was looking to move their home games to from MetLife Stadium to where the New York Red Bulls play. And let's see here, what Red Bull Arena is what they're calling it, is what it is there. And so they were looking at moving them, which is a much smaller venue, which I think would have been a lot better for the New York Guardians. I think that stadium and that place would have been a much better venue for them, especially because I think they would have filled it up, and it would have made the games feel a little bit better, having more of the stadium filled up than what they did. And so it was interesting to see that come out. And one other really interesting thing with this is that on April 2nd, so Pollock and McMahon met, and a lot of people around the league thought that they were meeting to discuss the 2021 season and kind of setting things up, and really setting these teams up to possible relocation. And I think LA was the other team. Those were the three teams with by far the lowest attendance. And, the other teams seemed to do fairly well with their attendance, and the cities were really thriving off of these teams and really enjoyed these teams. LA, I think that I don't know, San Antonio was thrown around. I just don't see that happening. 3 teams in Texas, I never did see that happening. But I could have seen, LA relocate to somewhere like Oakland or something like that. I don't know, or San Diego. San Diego is another place. There's been a lot of places thrown around. But it's just interesting that this stuff's coming out now, that they truly were looking at this. And also, too, the shock of what all has happened to all of these different, to all of the people at the XFL. The people, this truly shocked a lot of people. I mean, it looks like that right now that April 2nd meeting was really kind of the start of the end of the XFL. That really started things in motion, and just goes to show you that what the world landscape has done, not only to sports as a whole, but truly to the XFL. And I think a lot of what has happened to the XFL really is just an offshoot of Vince McMahon and the WWE trying to save the WWE. Right now, the WWE is hurting pretty bad. They've got things they have to do to fulfill commitments for their TV deal, especially with Fox. And so, right now, with the WWE the way that it is, that's probably why McMahon pulled the plug like he did. Because really, in looking at all of this, the XFL was a really good product. It had a very, very bright future. And had it not been for the fact that we had just this virus come in and just pretty much put a halt to everything, I think the XFL truly would have succeeded, and I think that we would have seen some really neat things out of the XFL in the coming years. But it came out. We got to see that they truly were looking at moving some teams and doing some things to really really make the league, I think, better, and move them forward with that. And it just goes to show you just kind of how progressive kind of the league was to really be looking at these things and looking at what they needed to do to best suit themselves, for success and things like that. To where I look at it, it was neat to see this stuff come out, and it also too, it just really showed me just how quick that this happened, and it was something that it shocked a lot of the employees and shocked so many people in the XFL world. And according to that, probably also shocked Mr. Luck, Oliver Luck. And if you've heard the news that's been out, Oliver Luck has filed a lawsuit against Vince McMahon. Let's just read exactly what we kind of the statement that we have so far. It says Oliver Luck's services as commissioner and CEO of the XFL were terminated by a letter sent to him on April 9th, which is the date right before everybody got laid off on that following Friday. And again, this is 1 week after the meeting between Pollock and Vince McMahon happened, where everybody thought that in that meeting that they were talking about what's coming up with the 2021 season, and it looks like that more than likely that the meeting was talking about this. So it says that by a letter sent to him, that being Luck, on April 9th, 2020, which explained the reasons for the termination, said a statement by Jerry McDevitt of K&L Gates, which represents McMahon. As to the lawsuit he filed, his allegations will be disputed and the position of Mr. McMahon will be set forth in our response in this lawsuit. So, pretty much Oliver Luck was terminated by letter on the 9th, and he has now officially filed a lawsuit for wrongful termination, which I would totally agree with. If you know me, you know that I've said since day one that Oliver Luck is the reason why this league has succeeded, why this league is what it is, why this league has been what it's been to fans. We can all thank Oliver Luck for this, and here's the fact of the matter. If you want to start up a football league, you need to get Oliver Luck right now. If if you can get Oliver Luck is going to. I think he's a very innovative mind, and we saw that with the XFL. He knows how to take things to another level, but not go over the edge. I think one of the things that he did really well was to help balance Mr. McMahon and his eccentric things that he does, and just kind of that bombasticness of McMahon and who McMahon is, and kind of coming from that wrestling world where you need to be those things, and really kind of refining them and really applying them to football, and not just saying, listen, this is what you got to be, this is what you got to do, this is football, and this is how you do it. Because that's what a lot of other people had done. But Oliver Luck, what he did was he's like, let's work this here. And so they really looked to make football truly just a more exciting and a more fun game, and really take that energy and really channel it in the right places. And I think he did a fantastic job. They utilized their funds properly. They did things well. Listen, this was a shock to everyone, and including Oliver Luck. And I think that he's doing the right thing here. And the reality is he's doing the right thing by him. I have absolutely no clue how much money he actually did get. I don't know what all the circumstances. We'll find those out, because this is a public thing. And so once the hearings are done, once a decision's been made, we'll find out all of the details, because it is a public thing. But as of right now, we really don't know anything other than he's disputing the termination for, that it's a wrongful termination. And that McMahon and Alpha Entertainment broke their contract. And if you remember, when they filed for bankruptcy, when they filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy, he is not listed in there as a debtor or a creditor or contractor, somebody with a contract. He's not listed in there at all. There's a whole bunch of other ones that are, but he's not. And so that letter being sent to him that they terminated his contract, I don't know. This is one of those things to where it's a business thing. It's a business decision. It's that. I get it. And so McMahon had to circle the wagons in that, and it's probably no hard feelings one way or the other, and they both have to go through these legal, these legal venues to get this thing done and to do that. And so, I don't know. Maybe there is bad blood now, because this was, something that he just found out about or whatever. I don't know. I will say that the XFL being for sale, it'd be interesting to see what will happen now that we're starting to get the dirty laundry that's starting to pile up. And I don't know if anybody's going to want to take a chance with really what McMahon has left. And the question really is this isn't in the football world, but in the world in general for McMahon is this is really kind of, I think, backfiring on him. And I don't know, believe it or not, he did such a good job with the XFL and what they were doing with the XFL, that the way that he pulled the plug and the way that he's done this, I think is going to hurt him, not only in other business ventures, but in the WWE. Right now is not a good time to be Vince McMahon. He's done a lot of, business-wise, done a lot of great things over the years. But this is probably going to go down as the one that might actually take him off and knock him off of his pedestal. We'll see what happens. But it might be the thing that really takes him down, from really being it and the guy and everything to the WWE, and restructures everything with it. I mean, this has just been a disaster for him. And the XFL has just been the tip of the iceberg, and really all the fallout that's happening with the WWE right now. But who knows? Now, they do have a lot of money coming in. They still have the Fox money coming in, and they still have the Saudi money, from doing those. So we'll see what happens with that there. But turning back to Oliver Luck, listen, best wishes for Oliver Luck, and I'm going to say this. He's worth every penny that you pay him. If you're one of these startup football leagues and you need a commissioner, look no further than Oliver Luck. I can tell you right now, the NFL probably feels pretty good about what they've got with Roger Goodell, but I can tell you I would take Oliver Luck over him in a heartbeat. I like the way that Oliver Luck has run this league. He's shown that he's a seasoned guy. He understands what's going on, but he also understands how to innovate and take things to new heights. So really, in the sports world, if you're looking for an executive that you need to run your company, you need to look no further than Oliver Luck. And listen, he's not going to be out of a job for very long. The sad thing is that we probably will never see him in the XFL again. And all of these great inventions and all of these great things, we're going to see other people reaping the benefits of his hard work. And so I hope he gets money out of this. I hope that, the courts rule in his favor with it. Now, granted, I have absolutely no clue of anything whatsoever with any of it. I just know from what I saw with the XFL and the work that he did a job well done, and he's worth every dang penny. I couldn't give him higher marks for what he has done with the XFL. They truly did exceed all expectations, and they were just going to new heights. Had not the world just literally turned itself upside down, I think that we would be talking about a whole different thing right now. We would be talking about the whole playoffs with the XFL and everything of that nature. And what we're looking forward to for year 2 and all this and that and stuff. But now we're just talking about this. And so we'll see as the days go by and all that with what's going to happen with the dirty laundry that's going to be aired as we go. And it'll be interesting to see. Also, too, it'll be interesting to see now, too, how really the sports world is going to shape up. And I'm going to do some videos on that, so be paying attention to that and doing that. We're going to go over that because I really have some just some, I don't know, some ideas that I have about the sports world and what's going on with sports. And, we'll talk about that because I'd love to get your guys' idea on it. All right, so I know I've kind of drug this out a little bit longer, but listen, I had to get the news out there and wanted to get it out there to all you guys. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. I really want to know. I want to have a conversation with you guys. I do. I love having good comments and conversation and stuff. And if you leave me good ones, I'll definitely feature those in an upcoming video. Okay, all right. Well, everyone, you guys stay safe out there and keep the hope up. Have a good night. Bye.